Hey everybody, I'm on my way to work, but I have a couple messages that I believe God put on my heart to discuss today. Hold on. First of all, I gotta try to get out of this weird parking situation over here. Alright, so I want to talk about two things that came up to mind today. One of them, this God is love, or love is love, heresy. And I say heresy because, well, let me explain why. Hold on, I gotta make sure I don't pull out in front of this Mack truck. I pulled out in front of one of these before. Not fun. It didn't end well for me. It was actually a miracle, but a lot of people could have gotten killed. Anyway, so love is love. Let me explain to you why love is not love. And you should not buy into this whole love is love thing. I'm going to put this on the dashboard. If it falls off, bear with me. Love is not love. When you say love is love, you are very ignorant of everything biblical, of God, of what love is, of the definition of love. It is not. Love is not love. Why? So the simple fact, and I don't need to be a college professor to explain this, love comes in many varieties. If you're talking about God, God is a kind of love that most humans will never fully comprehend until you're with Him in heaven. God is a holy, pure love, an unadulterated love, a family type love, a love of a father, a holy father. It is a just love, a pure love, a love that we cannot ever really truly fully embody down here in life until you're in heaven. It's a love that is light and it radiates. It actually illuminates all of God, all of heaven, all of existence. Okay, that's godly love. Human love, as we know it, we'll use the word too liberally. I love this, I love using crayons, I love drawing pictures of fish, I love drinking, I love, smoking, I love golf. That's just a general word to describe, that you really like something, but you're not in love with it. I mean, it's not your absolute favorite thing, is it? I mean, if you really had to sit down and think about what is your absolute favorite thing about life on earth, it probably wouldn't be any of those things. It would be really hard to figure out one thing that you love more than anything else. Your answer should be God, but caught you there. But anyway, then there's lustful love. Like when you feel like you're in love with somebody, you're lusting after them, you want to have sex with them. There's a sexual, passionate love. There's different words for it. I can't think of them all right now, but you know what I'm talking about. There's different kinds and levels of love. So no, love is not love. If you're going to say that, that's too broad. That makes no sense. It's a flat out lie. How could love be love? I mean, what kind of love are we talking about? What if you love terrible things like sin? What if you love pornography or pedophilia or crack and drugs and cocaine? Is that love is love? That's not the kind of love I want near me. I don't want love, perversion, love, evil. What if you love the devil? I don't want that. So, come on, love is not love. Alright, there's many different kinds, so you can't just make a blanket statement, oh, love is love and God is love. You don't obviously know God then, because you can't put Him in the same equation as love is love. Yes, God is love, but let me explain to you that God is also a God of justice. He is a loving God to those who love Him and fear Him and obey Him, but He is a God of justice for sinners, for people who rebel against Him intentionally and don't love Him and don't obey Him. So yes, if you want His love and mercy, which mercy comes with love, then you need to love and obey Him and do as He says and be a good person and be like Him. But if you're down here just saying, oh, I love God, but I also love smoking crack and I love getting drunk every night and I love sleeping around and then you love sin more than you love God, and you do not love God. I love God. I just told you I love God. Jesus said, if you love me, you will obey me. And that means you will obey His commandments, which means you're not going to be doing drugs and getting drunk and sleeping around and all the things He said are sin. If you love sin more than you love God, you don't love God at all. You're fooling yourself. Now, I think that's enough topic of love is love. I mean, I can go on for hours about it, but you get the point. Something that really struck me today, because Jesus sends us out like fishermen. Okay, to be a preacher, an evangelist, a Christian at all, if you're really doing what you're supposed to do as a Christian, I mean, everybody wears the Christian title nowadays. I'm a Christian, I'm a Catholic, I'm a Protestant, okay. But how many of you spend your entire day, every day, thinking about God, praying multiple times throughout the day, doing what he said to do? Are you feeding the poor and the hungry? Are you living the Beatitudes, the virtues? Are you, I mean, come on, there's a lot that comes with this. You can't just slap a Christian title on yourself and say, I'm a Christian, John 3:16, everything. No. To be a Christian, do you understand what that means? It's an obligation, it's a lifestyle, it's an everyday, all day long thing. It's like it consumes you. You are transformed by the renewing of your mind and heart into Christ. You think like him, you act like him, you love what he loves, and you hate what he hates. You try to avoid sin at all costs, and you try to be holy. Holy. That's what being a Christian is. There's a lot of lukewarm or pew warmers out there. Say, I lost some followers already. They didn't like it. They didn't like it. Oh, well, you don't like the truth then. Jesus will tell you the same thing, and he's gonna. He already has. So where was I going with this? We are to be fishers of men. So while I was thinking and praying to God today, because I'm getting a lot of, even from other Catholics and Christians who I think are friends on my Facebook, every once in a while, it's sooner or later I say something or make a video or something that they do not like or agree with or believe or want to believe, and then they attack. And they try to do it discreetly, like, oh, it's out of love that I think you need a therapist. I don't need a therapist. I've had psychotherapists, psychiatrists, counselors, I've run the gamut of pills, and every one of them always came to a conclusion, sooner than later, you don't need this, there's nothing wrong with you. Ding ding! Just because my views are radical and holy oriented and Christian does not mean that I'm a lunatic and crazy or I need a counselor. Then they say, oh, you need a spiritual director. I've had 3. Sometimes I've had 2 at one time. Don't tell me I need a I have one. I also talk to counselors. Still, I don't need your opinion of me telling me I think you have a mental problem and I think you need counseling. You know what you can do with your opinion? You can go kick rocks. I didn't ask for it. I've got plenty of medical files. I have proof to prove I'm completely sane. Nowadays, anybody who's going to be a radical, Republican, Trump lover, Christian, right-wing conservative, they're going to be seen as crazy. Something's wrong with them. You're not going with the flow. Everybody's doing this. So if everybody jumps off a cliff, I have to do it too. That's crazy. Crazy is when you blind obedience and you just do stuff because everybody else is doing it, so you're just too lazy to do the research and figure out it's wrong, so it must be right. So let's go back. I'm getting off subject here. The Lord told me today very clearly, he said, when you follow me, you are now a fisher of men. Now, I'm a fisherman. I like to deep sea fish and freshwater fish, and I was pretty good at it. But I'm a fisher of men because I evangelize and preach. That's the gift God gave me. He told me, I want you to preach. I want you to let the world know that I am Lord and that they need me and that I am real. Warn them about heaven and hell and that they need to go to heaven. They need to repent. There's all kinds of preachers. Some people preach love, kumbaya, and ear-tickling stuff, and that's all great. Because as Christians, we're supposed to have love and mercy and compassion, and yes. But I hate when people say, you attract more flies with honey. I'm not fishing for flies. Unless I'm fly fishing, no, but seriously, I'm not fishing for flies. I'm trying to get souls to heaven. I don't have time for sugar-coated honey sermons. Go watch Joel Osteen or somebody if that's what you want. That's not what I'm called to do. There are some of us called to be watchmen on the walls. Some of us called to be serious fire and brimstone evangelists. That's what I do. That is my gift and calling. Step off. If you don't like it, go watch someone else. Otherwise, but if you want the truth, then I'm going to give you the truth, like it or not. The truth that most preachers don't even preach, or priests aren't even allowed to preach anymore, which is dangerous. This whole God is love is a dangerous heresy because you're gonna, and another thing I gotta tell you quickly is coming to my mind. I encourage a personal relationship with Jesus. Yes, everybody should have a personal walk with Jesus, but let me explain what that is, because that can be very dangerous if misinterpreted. A lot of people, a lot of Protestants say, oh, you got to have a personal relationship with Christ. If he wants to have a personal one, which is rare, he will come down and talk to you like St. Faustina and many others. But that's not likely. What I mean, what is meant by a personal relationship with Christ is this. It is up to every Christian, whether Catholic or Protestant, you are to do your own research. You are to read that Bible and know it and understand it and obey it. That is on you. That is your personal walk with Christ, your personal obligation. You must do that on your own. You're not going to just get fed by going to church. The preacher or the priest doesn't have enough time to tell you everything. You need to be responsible and make this. You don't just go to church once or twice a week and that's it. I'm fed. No, you have to do this daily. That's a personal relationship. The more you give God, the more he draws closer to you. So that's a personal relationship, meaning you personally are responsible for your own salvation with fear and trembling. You're reading the Bible, you're doing what you need to do. And by example, word, and deed, you're showing others the way as well at the same time. That's what we mean by a personal relationship with Christ. You can come to know him intimately and personally. He wants that. But you're not going to find that if you're just going to church once a week and you're looking down your nose at a Bible and you're having all these other different ideas and your interpretation of who Jesus is in the Bible and what it's. No. You will adhere to him and his word strictly, to the magisterium strictly, or you are off course. So don't sit there and say, I have a personal relationship and, Jesus is my homeboy and we smoke weed together and he's okay with it because he created weed. That you're already off course. Okay, I mean that's the mentality nowadays. Oh, I have a personal relationship. I don't need to go to church. Really? Then I know you need church because you already don't understand. You already don't even understand. He said, "Do not forsake fellowship." He says you are commanded to go to church on Sunday. Hello. So don't sit there and tell me. That's where the dangers of a personal relationship with Christ can come in. So by all means, get to know him personally. Yes, you need to know him. You're not just what you hear of him. You do the research to get to know him so you don't get misinstructed and misled by wolves in sheep's clothing and false prophets. Now, going back to what I was trying to say, sorry for the detour. Good morning, Lord. Passing a church. He's right there. I got to get to work. I'm going to be there in 1 minute, so I got to wrap this up. We are fishermen, right? What do fishermen do? We throw out nets. We cast out nets or we cast out rods. If you're any unlucky fisherman like me, 9 out of 10 times, if you catch anything at all, it's going to be something that's either too small and illegal to keep, you got to throw it back. Or it's going to be garbage, it's not fit for consumption, you throw it back. Okay? Very rarely do you get, unless you're out there as a professional fisherman with a big net, but when you throw a net out there, every fisherman will tell you that you're going to catch a lot of different creatures. Not all of them are fit for consumption or profitable for sale. So you're going to have to throw them back. You're going to pick through, keep the good, and throw the bad out. That's what we do as Christians. When I evangelize, I attract a lot of different people all over the world who watch these videos. And I get a lot of attacks from people, and those are what I call the bad fish. Those are the ones we're not fishing for. They're either not spiritually mature enough in their faith, or they don't know their faith enough, so they're going to combat you or try to tell you don't know what you're talking about, you're crazy, whatever, as if well, obviously they're the ones that don't know what they're talking about. You throw them back. They're not ready. Maybe in a season or so they'll be ready, and they'll want to know the truth, and they will understand what you're saying. But in the meantime, you throw them back. You're going to get a lot of atheists, Satan worshipers, haters, okay? People who claim to be Christian, but they're lukewarm. You throw them back. But you're lucky if you catch 1 or 2 good keepers. Those are the ones we are searching for. The kingdom of heaven the road is narrow and few enter the kingdom. Don't forget that. And what Jesus meant by that was, you're going to have a lot of pew warmers, a lot of lukewarm people. But like, if you were to say there's 400 people in your church, maybe only 10 might be going to heaven. They're really living the faith truly every day. The rest just go on Sunday or holidays. No good. Those are the ones that are not going to be keepers. You know what I'm saying? So keep casting your nets. Keep doing what you're doing. Because if I do my job and you do your job, and the few of us down here, the remnant faithful, are all doing their job, you're going to catch a harvest. You're going to get quite a few over a period. But don't expect to be bringing in thousands with each cast of the net. That's not going to happen. I wish it would happen, but that's not going to happen. Jesus couldn't even do that. Remember the Sermon on the Mount? He had 5,000 people there with the 12, plus the 12 apostles, disciples, and all 5,000 left him, and only the 12 good ones remained. So he gave them all the benefit of the doubt. He told them the truth. They didn't like the truth. They didn't want to accept it. It was too hard, too much. He wasn't losing sleep over it. He said, okay. And he kept the few. Okay? That's what this is. So keep casting your net. Keep fishing for souls. You are a fisher of men and a fisher of souls for the kingdom of heaven. And throw out the ones, or just dismiss the ones who are just there to attack you and throw wrenches into your ministry. If the ones, don't even bother arguing with people who don't really know the faith or the church or the catechism or any of that. Just, you don't have time for that. Be nice, be loving to them as much as possible, but be firm. Do not let them make you double think things. Do not let them trip you up. You just keep doing what you know you need to do for the Lord, and that's it. He will be the one at the end who's the judge. He's the one that has the final say who stays in the kingdom of heaven, who goes to hell. So, we are fisher of men. You're going to cast your nets. You're going to have to throw a lot back, but you're going to get some keepers too. And those keepers are the ones who are like-minded, who are on your level, who get it, and they want Christ. They want to know. Okay, the rest of them, you do what Jesus said. You shake the dust off your feet and you move on. All right, I got to go. That was the abridged version. I had a much better sermon planned, but I got to work without traffic today, so I just didn't have the time I expected. God bless.